Hello once again, Simon Weston here. Taking a look at another student of mine from Beijing, China, Mr. Bai Xue. On the left and on the right we have a comparison with PGA Tour player Ben Crane. Now the player on the left has been playing golf for some 2 or 3 years. When he first came to me, he hadn't taken any formal lessons, had just been practicing on his own, trying to do the things he believed were right for him. He's approximately 30 years of age, quite an athletic guy and quite strong, but was suffering from lack of distance, poor impact conditions. So like we always do in the first lesson, once we've interviewed our students and find out what their issues are, we'll do an analysis of their swing. And to do that initially, we do these reference lines on the screen. The red lines indicate the shaft plane through the shoulder plane. The yellow lines, the back of the butt line, the knee line, and the top of the head. First thing I noticed with this particular player, as he began his initial takeaway from what's a relatively good setup position, one slight concern I would have here is that his lower back appears to be a little bit too curved through here, which can be an issue often you see with ladies or flexible people, and they can really restrict the ability to turn the hips in the backswing. So we need to be mindful of that. But generally a reasonably good setup. Perhaps he's a little bit close with his arms to his body. Now as he begins the takeaway, when he's in this position right here, we'll notice that the face of the club is pointing very vertical towards the sky. Now you notice with this example, Ben Crane and many good players, that the face of the club is more in this position. So I would describe the player on the left's club face as being open to the path, and he suffered from a lot of shots that go to the right, and this is certainly one of the reasons for that. His club face is open in the takeaway. Some of that's due to his grip, but some of that's also due to the fact he's rotating the face open. And also when I asked him the question as where he thought a square position would be, he indicated that the vertical club face, where he is here essentially, is a square position. Now this is a common misconception of what a square club face is. Whilst it's 90 degrees and pointing vertical towards the sky, this is open to the swing path. What you see here with Ben Crane at the green line and the red line are close enough to 90 degrees to each other. So I would say describe this face as more square to the path, and there's been no rotation of the club face around the axis of the shaft. Therefore it's still quite a square club face. That's what I like. As we run this swing a little further into the top of the backswing, so you see here that the length of his swing is quite short, and the reason for that, there's a couple of reasons. The right arm is tucked in very tight to the side of his body. His left arm is underneath his shoulder plane quite a bit and hard up against his chest. And the hand position overall is quite low. Now another issue this golfer is suffering from was hitting the ground behind the ball. Generally speaking, when golfers swing underplane, well not really underplane, but flat across his chest with that low hand position and the tucked in right arm position, they'll often return the club back into the ball from too much of the inside path. You'll see here the different hand position of a PGA Tour player, Ben Crane. So what I like to see at the top of the backswing is the hands have basically ended up on the original shoulder plane line. The left arm is a little more upright than the shoulder plane, and the position of the right arm, the right forearm, is pretty close to being parallel to the body or the spine of the body. So I like to see that. A lot of my students, particularly here in Asia, have these low, flat, tucked in right elbow position. Now this concept, I'm not really too sure where it comes from, but a lot of them think it's more consistent if they tuck their arms in and swing flat, but typically it's not so good. It typically is a very weak golf swing with not much club head speed, often results in a shallow or inside path. Can often also come with sort of an upright throw of the club in the downswing. But you'll notice here that the club really is in a very flat, low position. As he works back into his downswing, he works through to impact, you'll notice another bit of a problem, that he's lost a little bit of depth in his pelvis. His head's kind of moved down a little bit, which is not really a big problem with the head, but you see the roundness of the body. He's really lost any of his structure in his posture. His pelvis has moved towards the golf ball too much, and that's also contributing to the club coming a little bit too far from the inside. So this golfer is prone to pushing the ball to the right with the open club face and the in to out path, or the club head moving to the right. Hits a lot of shots to the right, and hits a lot of shots thin as well. The suggested improvements for this particular student was to work on his takeaway, work out getting the club face squarer in the initial takeaway, keeping that club face squarer all the way into the backswing, creating a more upright arm swing. You're trying to get that left arm more up above his shoulder plane rather than across his chest. Right arm tucked in too close to the body. Trying to get that right arm up a little wider, feeling good width between the hands and the chest away from the body rather than tucking in. And of course also the roundness or the loss of posture where his pelvis moves in towards the ball and he approaches the ball too far from the inside. So it's important you understand after the initial analysis that we start prioritising, making a plan and working on one thing at a time. It's very difficult to fix all of these things at once. Whilst they're certainly all related to each other and they cause some of the similar shots, it's really important you maintain focus and you try to improve your skill area one step at a time. Okay, thank you. Please take a look at the face-on view of this student. Thank you.